This gospel, a story we hear tonight from St. Luke's gospel, raises a lot of questions, and I would even suggest some emotions. We have heard it many times. It takes place in the home of two sisters, Martha and Mary. We're not really sure what relationship they might be to Jesus, or if there even is any relationship there. But he must have known them. And they had invited and welcomed Jesus into their home. And while Mary is engaged in conversation with Jesus, sitting in the room and talking, Martha is burdened with preparing a meal, setting the table and making sure everything is in order. Feeling left out of the conversation and overwhelmed with the preparations, Martha gets a little heated. And she complains to Jesus that she could use some help with the preparations. I think she said it in a tone of voice, not really directed at Jesus, but I'm sure it was directed at her sister. I could use some help while you sit there talking. At this point, it appears that Jesus takes sides with Mary, saying that Mary has chosen the better part, and it should not be taken from her. I'm sure, and I know, that there are many Marthas here this afternoon who might find Jesus' intervention disappointing and insensitive. The Marthas are the doers of the world today. They're not only women, but men as well. They are the first to step forward when something needs to be done, suggest a need, and they're the first to roll up their sleeves and get things done. They take pride in what they do. They don't complain. They expect no praise or recompense. They're just doers. You want something done, go to them. But if they did ask for a helping hand, if they humbled themselves enough to say, "Would you assist me?" and someone were to dismiss that request as casually as Jesus did to Martha, and instead point to some sweetie laying on the couch, checking his or her own cell phone messages, and say, he or she has chosen the better part, I don't think I'd want to be in that room. It could get real ugly fast. I bet if I could read the minds of most of you here tonight, all of you Marthas out there, I might expect the following reaction to Jesus' words. He's sitting in a clean house, going to eat a great meal, the table's set and the dishes are clean. How does he think these things are going to happen if everybody chooses the better part? Son of God or not, that man doesn't get it. Okay, Padre, do you agree with Jesus or not? Might be your question. My 44 years of priesthood tell me to give the homily and then run away for a 2-week vacation. But the question truly is valid. And so I ask the Marthas to hear me out today. Why do I think what Jesus said to to Mary and to Martha was what should be said? She chose the better part. This is what I think Jesus is saying. Martha, Martha, I deeply appreciate the work that you do, the committees you chair, the service you render, the meals that you cook, the hours you do in raising your children, working hard all day. I know that the many things that you are involved in would not function without your energy and skill. Our family would fall apart. But I love you, Martha. And so I need to ask this question. Do you know that there are things in your life more important than work? Do you know that as valuable as it is to give to others, you also need to care for yourself? Do you understand that along with all the time you use, there must be time that you waste? Time when you set aside all your responsibilities and just have some fun. You need time to think about questions with no practical purpose, such as why bees are attracted to flowers, or whether there really are men or women on the moon, or when was the last time you laughed so hard that it made you cry. You might think such questions are trivial and a waste of time, but they are an opportunity to embrace the mystery of life, to enjoy the little things around you. I do not want you to stop working, Martha, but neither do I want you to lose yourself. I love you, Jesus says. You need to know that I love you not for things you do, but for the person that you are. You are the better part, the part that must not be overlooked or forgotten. I want you to realize how valuable, how precious you are to me. Jesus does not want you to think your work is not important, but that it is not everything. He does deeply appreciate what you do, but he wants you to realize how important you are. It is okay to take time for fun, to take time to think and to pray, to set a time to waste. No matter how busy we are, we must take time to listen to another voice, the one near us who is forever chiding us with, "You never listened to me." We have to live and eat and work, but we must try to stop worrying and fretting. From time to time, we must stop, if only for just a few moments, and listen. God is saying, "Be still. I am your God. I want to speak to you. I have something important to say to you. I love you." I think in that perspective, that gospel begins to make sense. That Jesus is just not ignoring the hard work that Martha was doing, but he also just said, "I need to have some time with you." And then we can enjoy the meal. But let's have some time together. I hope that we, who are all Marthas, many of us very Martha-ish, that we will hear those words, and that in our own families, we will give time to each other and spend some time. Put those cell phones away, turn off the media, and just be together and realize that all that we do is for the love that we have for one another. And let's take some time to enjoy one another. Somebody agrees with me.